thought we were inconsistent. I thought we played hard. I thought sometimes frantic, sometimes hesitant, but I thought it was a pretty good first scrimmage. I don't think it was a great first scrimmage. I thought it was a good one. I thought it was good work and it was a good starting point.
What were your thoughts on Will and Sawyer's performance today?
I thought when Sawyer settled in, he played real well. After his, interceptions, and I thought he played real well. I don't think Will ever got into a rhythm, and it's tough when you get limited reps. I also think, though, our defensive front with the ones is a little better than the twos, which creates a set of problems. But no, I thought our first group could have played better on offense.
Do you think that Will's getting the ball out faster so far?
He has been in practice. I think sometimes scrimmages, I think guys make too much of them, and then but our last two practices I thought were better work overall. But there's another dimension to scrimmaging, which I think you got to expose yourself to it. But our last two practices were. I thought were really good. Defense dominated the one before last, and then we offensively got after them the next one, and then this was pretty even. One of the quickest signs of a decent scrimmage is if everybody's pissed. Because if one side's happy, then something's wrong on the other side. So, but we had good effort.
What did you think of Antonio Harmon? Kind of seems like he's had a pretty good spring for you guys ever.
He's getting better and better. He's physical. He's naturally physical. So, and I think that's a lesson that all those receivers can take. Because, right now I think we're kind of soft at receiver, and we got to be tougher. And even though he's not real experienced and is still working on ball skills and the rest, he is physical, and so that's a pretty good example to those other guys.
And you had Rufus there had a couple touchdowns as well. Is he another guy you think can kind of add to that depth there?
Yeah, Rufus has been kind of uncanny good for a while, and just needs to he's had some he'll get on a roll, and then all of a sudden something will happen, an ankle or something, and then but he's he's played real well for the last year really, and then always finds the end zone. If Rufus gets enough reps, he's always going to find his way to the end zone, and that's a pretty good knack to have. Of course, in high school, Rufus was in the end zone all the time too. So
you're able to move around a lot of offensive linemen to different positions. Talk about that as a versatility you're looking for, to be able to have guys ready to play different spots. Well,
you got to do it. There's some growing pains to it, anytime you move guys around. But we're trying to have, the ideal thing. I can't say I've ever had 10 that I could rely on, but if you can get it up to 8, you're going to be pretty good. So we're trying to get it up to 8 guys, and then of course, we have a couple guys not playing, but some of the young guys I think have stepped up and played pretty well.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about one of your former players, Brett Bartoloni.
Oh yeah.
The OC at Jackson State. I was wondering what you remember about him.
Good player. I remember in high school, good player. Was our leading receiver one year, and then, just a really good mind for football. Always studied like crazy, and then he even went and coached in France. And a guy's going to be a pretty good coach if he'll go anywhere and coach anywhere, and then, which he does, and then, in a couple schools I haven't heard of, and then, just keeps getting better as a coach, and then, so I was very happy to recommend him to Coach Sanders,
Your thoughts on the kicking game, what you've seen from those transfers so far?
Well, it's a lot better than last year. If I had any eligibility, I'd have kicked last year.
What is Biscardi? Obviously he's been pretty consistent, and Raybon has a strong leg too. How are those guys pushing each other?
They're pretty good. Ray's got a little stronger leg, but Biscardi's more consistent. They both, have some experience behind them, so that part's good. And they are pushing each other, and they're both quality kickers.
We probably won't get to talk to you before the spring game. Have you put in mind how you're going to structure the spring game, or it's kind of flexible what your plans are?
I haven't figured it out yet. It's a little early because of the Bulldog weekend with the baseball game. You got me thinking about it now. It may be early, similar to today. Because I'm not a believer in this spring game. Just go through the motions, run a couple drills, and wave at everybody. I hate that. I can't even fathom that on any level. I mean, we get. I guess we could scrimmage more if we want to, but we're having 3 scrimmages this spring, and we want to get the most out of all of them. And I mean, if everybody's going to just blow off the spring game, let's just say, I mean, they don't have to practice. I mean, have 14 spring practices. I mean, they don't have any. You don't have to have any if you don't want to, So I don't get that, but no, we'll light it up, and it might be like, just depends on our development. It might be like it was today. I don't know if we're in a position to split the team in half, I mean, what we did last year, and it makes it, last year what we did, it makes it real competitive. It's usually low scoring because there's too many moving parts and guys that aren't used to being next to one another, but it's fun. And you take the starting left half of the line and put them on one team, starting right half on the other team. Same thing with the D line. Left side inside receivers on this team, right side inside receivers on that team, and so I mean it's fun. Of course, and then you limit the plays a little bit, and then the fans think you're going to be awful because it's a little sloppy, but it does raise the competitive nature of it. I don't know if we're deep enough to do that, so it might be like today.
What's the value of being able to have the guys come out here and play at Davis Wade? Does it help some of the newer guys just get more comfortable?
Yeah, and I think that I wanted to do it last week, but the field wasn't ready. But yeah, I think because exposure in the stadium, I think, is huge, and that's why we do it every Thursday during the season.